The program you're watching is called Studio 10. We often bring musical guests into the show, and today's has recently become Floridian, but you wouldn't know it from his accent.
Russ Anderson comes to us by way of his native Scotland.
And he's recently completed his debut CD entitled Cheers. Ladies and gentlemen, Russ Anderson.
And as I cast my mind upon the mountains that we've climbed, I realize all the love I had have to leave behind. And all the ones who put me down told me I was wrong. Well, they don't laugh at me no more, 'cause now I'm walking proud and I say, hey man, look at you, so much older than me. No, there's nothing you can do no more, nothing you can say to stop me. Hey man, look at me with no jinx on my mind. You said you've heard it all before, but we'll see what the future has in store. And as I venture on again to times and pastures new, I realize all that held me back is holding on to you. And as the story tale unfolds, day turns into night. My lessons learned, I'm here again, and I'm back for good this time. And I say, hey man, look at you, so much older than me. No, there's nothing you can do no more, nothing you gonna say to stop me. Hey man, look at me with no jinx on my mind. You said you've heard it all before, we'll see what the future has in store. Oh, and I say, look at you, so much older than me, where there's nothing you can do no more, nothing you can say to stop me. Hey man, look at me with no jinx on my mind. No, you said you've heard it all before, we'll see what the future has in store.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here with Russ Anderson. Welcome, Russ, to Studio 10.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
A master keyboardist. When you first got interested in music, did you start off with piano lessons?
Actually, my dad bought me my first piano when I was about 4 years old. And you know, back in the 80s, you know, I don't want to give away my age.
You had a piano when you were 4.
Gosh, yeah,
That's crazy.
It was one of the real old little Casios. You remember those little things?
Oh, I had one of those little tiny ones, yeah.
And, you know, that's what I kind of grew up playing. But as I started to get a bit older, in my late teens, I moved into theatre, you know. I started acting and doing stage musicals. You know, I played Seymour in A Little Shop of Horrors, and I was in The Sound of Music, Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat, you know, all in Glasgow over in Scotland. And I was in a band briefly in Scotland, and we played some nice venues all over Britain, and you know, I travelled over Europe and stuff. Finally came over here a few years ago, 2003 actually, and all I wanted to do was sing to people and have them enjoy the music. And the opportunity in Glasgow was nowhere near the opportunity in America, you know, and I absolutely love Tampa Bay, you know. It's one of the coolest places on earth, I think, you know.
And people don't just find you out and about playing the piano either. They also find you playing the guitar?
Yeah, there's two sides to me, actually. This is my own personal thing. Obviously, I sing my own music doing this in the coffee shops and the local circuit. But when I'm playing in bars and clubs, I have a big PA, I have guitar, and I use a different keyboard. And, you know, I do all the covers, you know, the modern rock covers, you know. And I kind of like to put a little bit of this in once in a while, too. too, because there's one thing I've learned over the past few years is people like variation, you know. And all of the musicians that are playing the same stuff for the past 20 years, well, I bring them something new to the table, you know.
How long did it take you when you first started playing the piano? Because, you know, you get these little rinky-dink kid songs to play. How long did it take you to go, you know, I don't want to play this, I want to play some rock and roll, or I want to play some classical? How long did that take?
Well, I grew up, my inspiration was the keyboard player for the Doors, Ray Manzarek.
Oh, yeah.
So all he does is just really psychedelic 70s stuff and 60s stuff. Now, when you start learning that, anything's possible. So I really I practice a lot. I sing 5-6 nights a week at it. But honestly, I think I was
when you started playing Ray Manzarek, you were how old?
7.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
That's incredible.
How cool for your parents, though. That's my boy.
I had the entire Doors anthology down at the age of 7. Yeah.
Well, you've got your unique tunes here on your debut CD, Cheers. Where can people find this?
That's correct. I always have it at my shows with me, at my gigs. It's also available on iTunes, cdbaby.com.
And the CD looks like an old LP.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So neat.
I know,
I love
I've been
that.
back to the 45 there, yeah. But I also have it with me at the shows that I perform. A couple of real local places for me are Applebee's on 4th Street North in St. Pete every Wednesday night from 10 p.m. to 1. And I've got a big show coming up too on the 15th and 16th of this month, Friday, Saturday, at the new venue on Almerton, which is a really beautiful place. So I'm kind of excited to be playing some new places, you know.
We
And
really...
so,
go ahead.
Just so everybody knows, you can take, pretty much any ages can go and hear Russ at the venue because he's going to be out at the Tiki Bar, right? Which is the restaurant part.
Correct.
So you can take your teenagers, and I'm sure they would love to meet Russ.
We should have had Russ interview Mick Jones, but did you know that a Les Paul and a Gibson were the same thing? I had no idea.
Well, Gibson Les Paul is... It's a very unique guitar. However, there's a new, Epiphone make a Les Paul model as well. But what people don't know is Gibson took over Epiphone, so it's just all one big confusion after another.
AT&T is
Jerome,
involved
you have
somehow.
You have a lot to learn. You can
boy.
check out Russ Anderson live at the venue August 15th and 16th. Again, the show begins at 8 p.m. on both nights.
On the next Studio 10, if you are planning a family trip to New York City, PJ Getz has a whole list of budget-friendly activities.
Budget in New York. I am
it?
ready to hear this one. Plus, we'll tickle your tootsies with new styles from Happy Feet Plus.
Plus, drink cheap with wines on a budget. Live music from Don Willie and a presidential forecast.
But before we say goodbye to Thursday, here once again is Russ Anderson.
Immigration, my generation. A man with a gun in the sun gives you no explanation. Isolation, no public relation. Well, it's a very fine line when you're trying to rely on vacation. Though it's said good things come to those who wait. Let's go to a baseball game. We'll sing and laugh in the rain. Dance like we used to way back then when we were friends. I hear myself on